Hello, I'm the biblical translator, and yes, I'd like to talk about Mark 12:20 today. And I'm beginning to love what I'm doing now because every day it seems to get easier to relate what I'm reading in the Bible to what is happening today. And today, Mark 12:20 is talking about where one of the teachers asked Jesus, "What is the most important commandment?" And Jesus responded, "Love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, with all thy soul, with all thy mind, and with all thy strength." And the second important commandment is love thy neighbor as thyself. And why I thought, it's so relevant today, because if you are loving a being that you cannot see and that you have faith in, a being that you have faith in, just faith, nothing else, and you can love that being with all your heart, with all your mind, with all your soul, and with all your strength, can you imagine how that love is permeating through your body? Most people can't do that. I mean, the majority of us can't do that. The majority of us, we sway, we're inconsistent. We worship God on a Sunday, or we say a 2-minute prayer in the morning or before we go to bed, or if we're in an accident or if something bad happens, we say a quick prayer. How many of us are really and truly dedicated to loving a being or a spirit with all their heart, with all their soul, and with all their might, and with all their strength? Because that would mean that you are full of love every minute of the day. Because that would mean that you feel that love within yourself. And because when you give love, you get love. And if you're giving love to God, you are actually getting love back. And if you're doing that, it's easy to love your neighbor as yourself. It's easy to love every human being there is that you come into contact with. But people don't really understand how powerful love is, how it could change their lives. They're so absorbed with all the negativity, with all the times that they've been abused by love, hurt by love, betrayed by love, that they cannot get to grips with the power of love. The power of love is so strong. It means that you are opening your heart. You're making yourself vulnerable to people you do not know, trusting in the process. And love is such a miraculous game changer. I find that when I'm full of love, I'm human. I'm not full of love every time, every day, or anything like that. But when I am filled with love, and I choose, and I say I choose, it's not automatic in me. I'm still growing, I'm still learning. But when I choose to show love and demonstrate love and feel love, I feel so good. When I stop feeling good is when I have those moments where I start thinking about myself, I start criticizing others, I start getting competitive, I start just feeling uncomfortable about something. And yes, they reckon that when you feel uncomfortable about something, it's to gauge, it's your protection. It's to gauge something within yourself. But we have to also realize that sometimes when we feel uncomfortable about other people and how their spirit affects us, it's got a lot to do with triggers in our past. It's got nothing to do with that individual. It's got to do with something that's happened in our past, and another person triggers it in us. And so we start having these thoughts about that individual that makes us feel uncomfortable. And when you feel uncomfortable, it's difficult to feel love. And so it's difficult to love people on faith. And why Jesus told that teacher, love the Lord thy God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your strength, and with all your might, is because you need to love with faith, believing that you will reap the rewards. Might not reap it immediately. Yes, you might go and you might find yourself loving the wrong person. Is there a wrong person? No, because you cannot fault love. People are human. You can fault humans, but you cannot fault love. So because somebody has hurt you because you've loved them, or they've betrayed you or taken advantage of you, it doesn't mean that you stop loving. It doesn't mean that you stop giving. It doesn't mean that you stop showing compassion and empathy to other people because somebody along your journey has hurt you and has betrayed you. Because that means you will never feel the glory and the wonderment of love. And love, it's such a fantastic feeling. It frees you. It kind of makes you feel light. And it kind of makes you feel as though you could conquer the world. It makes you cooperative. It makes you generous. It makes you helpful. It helps you to be open to other people, to other, differences. It helps you to accept people for who they are, regardless of their protected characteristics. That's what love does. That is the power of love. It enables you to work with people. It enables you to achieve, because you need people to achieve. No man is an island. And if you cannot work with people, there's a problem. There's a problem within yourself, and you can blame people all you like. They say a poor man blames his tools, and there are people who are so afraid because when they were raised they were beaten for every little thing, that now as adults they're afraid to accept responsibility. So they're always blaming people, other people, even though they're adults. Subconsciously they think they're going to get a beating. And it might not be a physical beating. They don't even want the emotional beating. They don't want to disappoint. They don't want to hurt. So they blame, and they don't realize that by not taking responsibility, that is hurtful for the person who they have hurt or they have disappointed. And so it actually is opposite to what they want to achieve. So for the new year, I mean, this shouldn't just be for the new year, this should be throughout your life. Let's concentrate on loving others. Let's have responsibility and show responsibility for everything that we do. Let's be accountable. When we do things wrong, let's own up to it. And let's just be let's say if we love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, with all thy soul, just imagine that you're loving yourself. If you love yourself in that way, with all your heart, with all your soul, you forgive yourself of all wrongdoings. You forgive yourself of the past. And you say, today, I, Myrna Loy, or the biblical translator, will love myself. I'll treat myself with respect. I'll treat myself with tenderness. I'll treat myself with compassion, with love. And I will demonstrate that to other people. Can you imagine what a game changer that will be? Can you imagine how the world will change? So all I want to do is take this opportunity to wish you all a safe and happy season. I'll probably do a couple more videos after this. But like I said, this scripture was inspired, Mark 12:20. The scripture was inspired, and this video was inspired by that scripture.